Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. It's not easy, so keep working, keep striving, never give up, fall down 7 times, get up 8. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. So keep moving, keep growing, keep learning. See you at work.
You speak as though I have conquered death. I live death every day. I am surrounded by it, smothered by it. Look at you now. He would have everlasting life. You seek to defy death, yet you cannot even defy sleep. And how alike sleep is to death. It is a painted death.
Nosfero, does this word not sound like the death bird culling the living dead at dawn? It is the name both ghouls and demons dare not say, for they know it means death for the undead.
Hard work, dedication, hard work, dedication.
Hey, what is up, everybody? How are you doing? Welcome to Shanth and Jetty Art. I am, of course, Shanth and Jetty. Let's see who we've got in the chat this fine morning, or afternoon, or evening, depending on where you're located in this world. First up, we've got American Comics Company. You are always in good company when American Comics Company is there. We've got Joseph Dredd. I tip my cap to you. I love that little icon image. Hail Judge Dredd and Joseph Dredd. Absolutely see it work. Hashtag see it work. That's what we do here. We chew bubblegum and we work hard and we're all out of bubblegum. Timmy Mello, my brother, it's great to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for being a channel member. And it's an honor to have you, my friend. A Crip Walker indeed, if ever there was one. We've got Blackjack in here. Hail CG indeed. Hail Blackjack and hail the chat, as we always say. We have got, let's see here, Joseph Dredd I already got, and we've got DJ Sick Rick. How are you doing, my friend? I tip my cap to you. It is great to see you in the chat. You've been in this chat before, but I'm not sure. If this is your first time in the chat, let me say welcome, and thanks for being here, my friend. And yeah, hail CG. And Timmy Mello, thank you for dropping all of these links. Timmy Mello dropping links like Oscar Mayer up in this house. So let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about art. Let's talk about, a car screeching outside of my window. What is up, Sean Fair Schneily? It's great to see you. That was an interesting sound. I hope everybody's all right outside. So let's talk a little bit, if we can, about what I was showing you guys when I was doing some sketching and some painting on acrylic with Razor Fist's characters. Today I'm going to be painting some characters from Camel Moon comics and characters from his world, from Boots and Heels. I wanted to do some acrylics to kind of, again, I've mentioned this before, I do these kinds of things between working on pages of Nosfero. Keeps me loose. Acrylic on canvas is a completely different animal, or canvas panel, I should say, is a completely different animal, and I want to do something to kind of push things along and show you guys a little bit about what the painting process is like. Yeah, ain't that an ominous sound? It absolutely is. And thank you so much, Timmy Mello. I do appreciate it. Yes, indeed. Yes, justice for the many. Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully this will be somewhat interesting and informative for you guys today, just in terms of the fun. And if not, hopefully it's just a blast. Hopefully we just have a good time. So I had Camel Moon on not long ago to talk about his characters from Boots and Heels. And one of the things that's fun about, in the Iron Age of Pulp, Iron Age of comics and storytelling and media and entertainment, and shout out to my brother Razor Fist. And his book is coming out, actually the sequel to his first Night Vale book is coming out on the 12th. Hopefully you guys will check that out. You can follow him on Twitter and find him on YouTube. But I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about how looking at other people's, characters and painting them is, to me, in many ways, almost like a conversation that you're having with the work. So you see somebody present an idea to you, and then you kind of think, all right, that's interesting. And then, you kind of have a conversation with them about it, and you get to know them a little bit more. And then you just kind of take those things that you process and you kind of work those out on the canvas. And for me, that's one of the fun things about being an artist. That's one of the fun things about being in Comicsgate. And that's one of the fun things about life, is that it's not the stuff that you see, it's how you get to know people. When I paint a portrait of somebody, it's the same thing. I try to get to know them. I try to find out as much as I can about, their friends and their family, particularly with First Sergeant Andrew McKenna when he passed away. I read some articles, some things his friends had to say about him that were really touching, and all that stuff fueled what I was doing. And Hail, John, good to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well this morning. And welcome as always, my brother. But this is the thing about it, too, is that, there are a lot of different... How comics hit you and what affects you in comics and in entertainment is something that everybody knows. And you ask them, what is the stuff that they're into, and what is the work that they love, and all of that kind of stuff. And it's sort of a gateway into their work. And one of the things I like to think about is if you come at everything from a standpoint of really just kind of listening to what, the work, and listening to people express their enthusiasms for things, it kind of deepens your creative process a little bit. And it's not so much about, trying to dissect the thing as much as it is trying to make sure it's a product of that kind of enthusiasm. And for me, that's I'm going to use the phrase because, respect to the man. That's part of the joy of painting. What's up, Charlie Stevenson? Great to see you. How are you doing? It's great to have you in the chat. What's up, Teflon Ron? Great to have you here, my friend. And so when I started working and when I start, painting these kinds of things, I just try to go into a space where I'm kind of letting the character come together. And I do weird sort of research to prep for things like this whenever I'm doing them. Like one of the things, and this may seem completely unrelated, and it sort of is, but one of the things I did in preparation for this was to think about, what's up, David G? Great to see you, my friend. What are we looking at, Wraith of God? We are looking at Camel Moon's character Claude Agent right now, and some other stuff that I'm going to be working on in this, and it's having so much fun. That's the goal of today, is to have a bunch of fun. It's great to see you, David G. Yeah, we're here to have fun. And I was looking at this company, funny enough, called Ironhead Studios, that does superhero costumes. And they do all this really incredible, detailed stuff. They've been on Tested a few times. And I like to think about what these things would look like in, reality, what these things would look like dimensionally, but still bring that wonderful, fun comic book quality to it. That wonderful, fun, playfulness. I think that's why, speaking of Wraith of God, why I was such a big fan of and backed the Simon Bisley cover on that. That was because it has that fun, sort of infectious and playful cartooniness that Bisley's never lost in his work. He's never lost that ability to play. He didn't, as he's moved towards representational work, he didn't lose that fun. And I would argue even Frank Frazetta didn't lose that. His comic book background served him incredibly well. And so that's something that's on my mind, making something that is somewhat sculptural, but also kind of maintains that cool factor. I mean, that's a huge part of Nosfero, when I'm working on Nosfero. When I was working on one of the pages last night, and I'll always step back and not be afraid to eradicate a character if I don't think it's working, if I don't think it's got that soul. Do you know what I mean? That it needs to have. And that's a big thing for us, right? It's to maintain that sense of play, because it's comics. The pulp artists understood that. That's why obviously I love Steranko, but that's why my favorite artist of the shadow is George Rosen. When you see George Rosen's stuff, I mean, you can just feel that he is just, on 11. He's just playing, man. And that's what it comes down to. It comes down to being able to occupy a particular mindset where you're going to try to knock people's socks off. And so my ethos or my philosophy when I'm painting this stuff is the pulp ethos that my brother Phil of Zaid Comics was kind enough to relay to me, that Steranko shared with him, which is it's about mystery, danger, and sexiness. That's all I'm painting. Whenever I paint pulp, that's what I'm doing. Mystery, danger, and sexiness. That's what it comes down to, guys. Okay, switching to lurk mode. Understood, John. John's like, going silent. Switching to silent running. Understood, my friend. Understood. Yeah, don't get yourselves in trouble at work, by the way, folks. And if you're driving, make sure you're driving safe. we're just going to try to, to create a nice, chill painting stream. I think Bob Ross had it figured, man. I really do. I think he understood what people need, man. He understood that people needed to see something fun and beautiful and to feel some kind of connection with it. You know what I mean? And with the people making it, too. I mean, let's be real here. I mean, let me move the camera over. I'm not even realizing where my head's positioned here. But he understood that, that people needed to connect with the making of artwork and not just be, on the outside of it. And so when I look at, what I'm doing here and what I'm doing on this channel, it's always about trying to make people have that fun, connection with painting. And I tell you guys this, as I say, it doesn't matter if, if you never make $1 from the stuff that you make. It's so important if you feel like you want to paint. Do not feel as if this is something that you have to do because you intend to make a living at it. But I will say this, if you don't enjoy it, that's the reason to not do it. If you despise the process of painting, don't do it. Don't do those kinds of things, because find those things that you're passionate about. And if you love just hanging out and watching it, by God, thank you. I appreciate it. You guys are the best. What is up, Stephen Rockwood Drawing, another artist brother of mine and another channel member, much like Timmy Mello. It is great to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. I hope you are doing well. You've been painting, Stephen Rockwood. Excellent, my friend. How's it going? Let me know how that's going. I love hearing that. We were talking about tattoo artists on my last stream, maybe. And a gentleman who was following me on Instagram and had been doing tattoo art, was asking me what kind of materials do you use and that kind of thing. And a really nice guy. He's backed some of my art books. I think he bought an original head sketch way back in the day when I was doing those first 2 art books. And the thing that was great is that he said that, hearing what kind of materials I used and hearing me talk about it in a way that didn't feel like it was so incredibly intimidating, he started painting in addition to his tattoo work. And I'd like to think it informed it, in terms of put fuel in his tank. Joseph Dredd, I love just hanging out and watching draw streams. I absolutely love it too, so that's why I do them. I like watching Anna's streams. I like watching, who else? I love watching Ethan do his draw streams. Pretty much anybody who does draw streams, for that matter. Jonas Olson, it is great to see you, my friend. Hello, how are you doing? Let me see here. I often wind up mixing too much or too little of one color. It happens, and there's a big thing. Your last stream, you mean at like 5 a.m.? Yeah, that was a crazy one, man. That was crazy. Is this for the contest? Yes, I think this is going to be for the contest. I wanted to do something to support Camel, man, to support what Will is doing with his work, and also, I have this. And also because, irregardless of the contest factor, I know I can flip these paintings, and I need something to loosen myself up in terms of between doing Nosfero work in the day. There's doing dishes and there's other things like that I do, but it's the same thing with doing the Razor Fist paintings, and I just thought. Maybe I want to, how do I word it? I don't ever do a painting if I don't have an idea for it, if that makes sense. And I didn't have an idea for this, and then it just sort of hit me. I was like, oh wait, I saw something, and I how do I describe this? Painting for me is a lot like, it's like I'm thinking out loud, and I thought it could be something really fun for Comicsgate and really fun for all of us who are like, Iron Age creators, just to kind of walk people through my process of doing a painting of something like this. That's the joy of it. Teflon Ron, for the love of Rini invitation on a Shanth stream. Do you mean Rini? I invite Rini on one of my streams, or Rini invites me on one of her streams? Yeah, I'm game either way. Yeah, absolutely. Probably not today on something like this, just because I got to stay in the zone, and I'm tempted to talk when I have guests on. But I want to do a stream with her. That'd be fun. Absolutely. I've been on her channel before. It's great. I've had her on my channel too for the closeout of Goblin Girl, come to think of it. So yeah, absolutely. And thank you for the $5 super chat, Teflon Ron. That means that we're going to have to give you a cheerleader here for that, because that's how we roll here. Thank you so much for that super chat.
Charge!
Hail to you, my friend. Teflon Ron in the house, dropping $5 and getting it done. Please say irregardless with the proper accents. I don't know if I can do that, man. Oh, you're killing me, guys. Jonathan Chat, I'll be lurking. Absolutely channel member. Arun Fay, good to see you, my friend. I hope you are doing well. Hail Shanth, just what I needed. Your special brand of spiritual upliftment. I'm happy to bring it, man. That's what we do. Both indeed. There you go. Much love. Much love, my friend. Yeah, hail Timmy Mello. So, yeah, I mean, this is the thing about it. It's, I was looking at, I know Camel Moon had said to me his favorite Batman is the Asbat. Now, when somebody tells me that Asbat is one of their favorite Batman, and obviously Az from Heels vs. Babyface is named for that character, it always gives me an understanding of what they're about. Like, my favorite Batman is Batman 1989. When I ask someone who their favorite shadow artist is, Razorfist's favorite shadow artist is, I believe, the black and white interior artwork by Tom Lavelle. So everybody's got a different brand of art that they respond to, and it just teaches you a ton about people. Holy cow, did the chat just jump? Let me see here. Collision Bomb, it's great to see you, my friend. I hope you are doing well, and hello to you. And Moss Blackburn, time for my favorite work time entertainment. Absolutely, we're glad to bring it to you, Moss. Great to see you. And so I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about my mentor who had done some painted versions of the Asbat costume. And it is a very tricky thing to do, and it's an interesting flavor to try to mix into your work, because that, depending on which era of it we're talking about, that mask is has got a lot of character to it, and it's either got a lot of texture or a lot of geometry. And those are the things that I'm exploring today, you know, as I work on this stuff. I also wanted to, another reason why I paint is obviously just to recharge and hone my craft when it comes to things like, you know, painting Nosfero and the things that are writing heavy. And so I wanted to do a little bit of portrait stuff. So I'm taking a character that's in that kind of story, and I'm playing around with it, and the character, if I can get this camera to line up, I may have to move this a little bit weird here, but the character, I started thinking of Willem Dafoe's face for this character. So I get a chance to do a portrait, and that's a huge part of it too, right, is trying to improve things. What is up, Aviator Surge? It is great to see you, my friend. Hey, chat. Hey, Professor and Jetty. Hey to you, my friend. It is great to see you. American Comics Company, hail, and likewise, hope you've been well. Teflon Ron, is this your first stream in a long time, Shanth, or you haven't posted recent ones? I have posted streams, but they had been hiding my streams and not making the live chat go live. Oh, thank you so much, Collision Bomb. I appreciate that. But I did a stream at 5 in the morning about a couple days ago, so that stream is up. And what is up, channel member Ellie Munoz? It is great to see you. So yes, I have been. I hadn't been streaming as much for a little bit because we had a little bit of chaos. I was going to say controlled chaos, but it was hardly controlled chaos. Our lovely, wonderful, and sweet pet rabbit had GI stasis, which is a condition that can be absolutely fatal in bunnies. He had to spend 24 hours in an emergency vet care. He pulled through, but I haven't had a pet. My family hasn't had a pet. This is our first pet as a family. But I, as Bob Ross again would say, it's important to have little critters in your life. And I love animals. I love seeing particularly them out in the wild. And so it was a tough 24 hours of worrying about him and if he was going to be okay. There was a lot of emotions and things like that because he's only 2. But fortunately, he pulled through and we're good. But it was a lot for us, you know, because he's such a sweet and good-natured animal. And it was tough to watch, man. It was tough to know that you couldn't really do anything. But I will say this. The vets did a fantastic job. God bless you, all you vets out there who take care of animals and of all species, exotic and common. Much love to you guys. You guys are incredible. I don't know how you do what you do because I know it must be a tough job some days when it doesn't go well, and we appreciate that. And thank you for making sure it went well. because yeah, it was a little guy. It was tough. It was tough to watch, man. But he's doing great. Like I said, I mean, it wasn't anything awful, but it was just tough to know that you feel kind of helpless. I know some of you guys are pet owners, and you have similar feelings about your pets. You know, they become a part of the family, and so yeah. But I was sitting here and I was working on this, and I said, you know, there's so many people who still, because we have a lot to do to break the static friction and to get what we're doing in CG and get what we're doing in the Iron Age to be where it needs to be. We have to be putting out a lot of stuff, and that was the thing that always makes me rally to work. You know what I mean? Yes, absolutely, Ellie. Yeah, pets are awesome, and it hurts to see them in pain. It really does. It really does. Hail Ellie Munoz. Yeah, my favorite Batman is still Bill Sinkovich's, I don't know how to pronounce it, Moon Knight. Yes, I will tell you this. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful painter. And does great stuff. And I was actually looking at his shadow stuff the other day in the Pulp Power book. If you are interested in Pulp, or if you even think you might be interested in Pulp, the book Pulp Power that Phil Diaz and I talked about on his channel, not long ago, but a little while back, is absolutely worth getting. I mean, it is highest recommendation for Pulp Power. It is an absolutely fantastic, fantastic book. And I would encourage you guys to check it out if you remotely have an interest in that kind of thing. And so, yeah, that's the stuff I love. But, you know, that classic Joker Batman kind of confrontation thing is something that I'm really... it always just sort of speaks to me, maybe because Brian Bolland's Batman was such a big part of my youth, particularly The Killing Joke. Really love The Killing Joke. And that's a big part of it for me. Let me see here. We just got a new kitten. The other cats are still adjusting. Yeah, I imagine, man. I imagine cats, right? It's like you gotta get them. They gotta get to know each other, know where everybody's at. Where's everybody in the pecking order? This is our one sort of pet, spoiled only child. So it's funny to see him, and he is the very much the apple of my Mrs. Ingetti's eye. So, and hail Mrs. Ingetti, and thank you for everything you do here. Shanthan Ingetti art would not be what it is without her, and she's the first fan, and she's the number one fan. She's the best. And but yeah, I mean, it's how fun is it there's a lot more intensity to the creation on Nosfero, which is to say bringing to life, both the story, writing and creating all of that stuff, and then bringing it to meaningful life in terms of the character. And what I always find really fun about working on other people's stuff and working on other people's characters is that if typically what I always say is that when it comes to commissions, it's expensive, right? And it's expensive for a couple of reasons. The biggest one is what I put into it, and the other aspect is I've only got a certain amount of paintings in me before I'm done off this earth, and it takes a lot of time to get to this level of skill. And so I don't say yes to anything or don't do anything for no reason in terms of I pour myself into it. And so to me, that acknowledgement of how much I put into it is what it comes down to, and how much I've put into it to get to this point. But yeah, when I say yes to something, whether it's the Beckoned cover, everybody please go and back Beckoned if you haven't. If you love fantasy and beautifully crafted artwork, check out Beckoned RECOURSE. It is absolutely a beautiful book. The link is in the description. I played the trailer at the start of the show. Do check it out. It is a great looking book, and back my cover, on that book. That cover is one of my favorite things I've done. And that's how I take commissions. I take commissions really seriously because I don't sell a lot of Nosfero work, or if any. I haven't sold any yet, I don't think. So the easiest way, or the one of the only ways people get a hold of my artwork is if they commission it or they buy a painting I did of somebody else's character. And so it's one of those things to where, this painting will be available for sale, this original, when it's done. But, it's four figures. So, if this is something you think you want to purchase, start saving, put that money aside and yeah, and because I will tell you, it will be a beautiful thing to have in your home, and that is the goal. I don't paint these things without thinking about them bringing beauty into somebody's life. That's what it comes down to. Yeah, one day I'll get a cup of Shanth on my wall. Oh, that sounds good. Thank you so much, Improvi. I absolutely cannot wait till that day. That'll be great. Hi, John. Everybody saying hello. As pets do not choose us, it is up to us to provide them their best lives. I agree 100%. I can't imagine viewing it any other way. Your Beckoned Recourse cover is phenomenal. Thank you so much, Collision Bomb. I really am proud of it. I think it was a level up, and you'd be surprised how many times my commissions level up my work, which is why there's different reasons why people do things. And I guess I would say that the primary reason why I do things is to try to bring beauty into this world, into people's lives, and something positive amongst all of the darkness, right? Something positive in terms of, and I don't mean, oh, it's all dark. What I mean is that there's enough dark out there, and there should be a balance of positive out there. And so when somebody sees their characters, or they see a painting that you do of something, and it is a grace to the subject matter and not a disgrace to the subject matter, it's going to enrich their lives. And you guys get to see, when I'm working, you guys get to see how much care and how much detail. Let me see if I can move this over just a little bit here. I'll rotate that. There we go. Let it focus just a bit. You guys can see how much detail and care goes into this stuff, and this is what it's all about. What's up, Neon Todd Studio? How are you doing, my friends? Great to see you. I definitely want to get a commission piece from you of a character I've come up with. There you go, guys. Looking forward to it. I've tried to get Jeremy to sell me the original. No dice, he won't part with it. I know. Well, that's what it is. It's his world. And I'm so glad that he's excited about it. That makes me really happy. I liked this stream so hard. Thank you, Past Master Dan. I appreciate it. It's always great to see you here, man. Always great to see you here. Let me see here. John, let me make sure I've got everybody here. John is in here. Teflon Ron is in here. I like to think of our pets are our ancestors visiting us. I like that too. Our job is to honor them by treating our pets well. Absolutely right. You like it. Yes, exactly. You like it. Kelsey showed his latest Nexus pages last night. Now there is a dude that is... Oh, yeah. Now there is a dude that is constantly leveling up. What beautiful work he's doing. Hail, Kelsey. I agree. He's a true, passionate artist. He loves art like I do. It's just, we love this stuff. Let me just make sure I say hello to everybody. If anybody said, yeah, Willem Dafoe. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely Willem Dafoe. And this is the other thing. When you're doing a painting and it's not in your world, you get to kind of broaden what you're thinking about in a particular way. And for me, I like to take the opportunity to really study when I'm doing this stuff. And so I'm trying to study this kind of stuff and try to figure out what it is. And so it's weird, but yeah, the idea of Willem Dafoe, because I love his face, to be clear. I think that dude's got an amazing face, as you guys know. That was the thing that I think most excites me, is I'm going to find all of these little ways to paint things that I don't typically paint on Nosfero. And that's what it comes down to. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can adjust that so I can get a better angle on it. There we go. That's a little bit better. All right, I saw something. What are your commission rate and ranges, Sean? They're changing all the time, to be honest. They're kind of going up. It's because the demand is what it is. But it depends. People can reach out to me if they have a specific question or what they're looking for. It also depends on what rights you want to buy. So I always maintain the right to put my paintings in my art books, my Shanth Jetty art books, because I don't like to not have that ability to share my body of work in the stuff that I do. But some people want to buy the rights to publish it once. Some people, like Ethan, want an all rights buyout where they can publish the thing and use it in perpetuity. There's a one-time payment. And then some people want to buy that and then buy the original as well. So it depends on what you're buying. Hey, what's up, Camel? Let me know if you recognize this guy over here. Let me know. But yeah, that's the fun thing about what we're doing here, right? Is it just depends on what you want. If you want the work on your wall, that's probably the most. So it depends again on those rights. It depends on what you're doing here. Let me see here. Fiber and a good diet helps with being regular. Amen. It's true. Hey, Camel. There you go. Yeah, absolutely, man. It's I'm having fun. I'm doing some work, as they say. And yeah, it's an interesting thing because when I do a commission, it is the biggest thing that people are getting is people are buying time, and then if they want to buy the original again, it's like, save your pennies. It'll be about 4 figures usually, and we do what we do here. I mean, that was the same thing when I recently sold the original painting to the Cyberfrog trading card. These things tend to go very fast. People tend to want to get in touch with me early in case stuff goes on sale. And a gentleman got in touch with me. He was a member on Ethan's. Patreon, and Ethan gave a sneak peek of this piece of the Cyberfrog trading card way back. And this guy contacted me and said, if it goes for sale, let me know. And he bought the painting, he bought the tracing paper transfer sketch, which was another thing he purchased, and then he bought the initial rejected sketch, because I sent the other one gratis to Ethan with some art books just to say thank you, and it was a pleasure working on it. So people tend to reach out early for this kind of stuff, and that's the big thing. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Yeah, well, the missus definitely appreciates it. We got a bunny to take care of, and we've got veterinary bills. You know how that is. But it's the thing is that I think about this stuff as being on somebody's wall. Like this is when I sell an original, it should be something that brings people joy in their home, and it should be something that inspires them. It inspires them to go about their day. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but it's a huge part of it, right? Is that I think that art should make life more inspiring and more beautiful, and that's just how I think about it. I mean, it's like, what is that ineffable aspect of the aesthetic experience, that thing that wakes you up and makes you excited? I think that's the thing people don't understand about it is, or get confused about. People know what they hear the term aesthetic, and it conjures up images of the visual look of something, right? That's what people think of. But if you think about it, and I think I've talked about this on stream, any former students of mine in the chat will be like chomping at the bit to answer this. But does anybody in the chat know what the opposite of aesthetic is? Does anybody? Yeah, our rabbit is a very good rabbit, never bites. Love it. Yeah, exactly, too. Absolutely. My wife points off to the horizon and says, just look out there. Imagine the rabbit, Shanth. Yeah, ineffable. Yeah, what is the opposite of aesthetic? You guys will love this, because most people never think about this. And it's really interesting. I'll give you 5 more seconds, even with a time delay. Apologies. All right, here you go. The opposite of aesthetic is anesthetic. Anesthesia. Anesthetic. Something that numbs you. Something that just has no effect and is numbing. And aesthetic is something that wakes you up, that invigorates you and makes you excited. Do you guys get what I mean? Yeah, that's a good one. I like it. So think about art in those terms. Think about art in terms of artwork that is anesthetic and artwork that is aesthetic. When I see artwork that inspires me, it's like a shot of adrenaline. It's the opposite of a shot of morphine. And that's a big one. Now the chaos makes sense. There you go, guys. The chaos is what it's all about. What's up, Crenshaw Fowl? Good to see you, my friend. Crenshaw Fowl. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that well. Or is it Crenshaw Fowl or Crenshaw Fao? I don't know. Wake me up. Happy to. And good morning to you, and good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are. Yeah, there you go. Neon Todd's thinking about that one. Yeah, that is what it's about. And the second you start to think about things like that, it really does change. What are the things that are going to bring inspiration and a sense and a verve and a vitality to your day. That is the stuff you should be supporting. And so imagine what it's like to wake up every single day and walk past this painting in your home and know it is yours. That is what it's about. Sark, good to see you. Greetings to you, my friend. And that is the thing that I do this for. That is what motivates me, is that someone is going to buy this painting and that person is going to get joy from it. And it's going to be something that is beauty incarnate. That is the goal. And cool and creepy and exciting and something that you know the story of. That's the stuff I love. Yes, Anna is very aesthetic. Okay, there you go. Yeah, she's actually really great at what she does. I love her paintings. It's interesting that you don't paint an undercoat. Yes, I don't. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. I'm not painting one now. I change up my painting process a little bit every time I work. But for these more... let me think of how to describe this. So you guys have seen, I posted it on Twitter, you've seen my Woody Strode painting. When I'm painting something like that, which is oddly a little bit like what this stuff is worth, the same thing went with the Beckoned cover. It's much more of a meditation, and I like to think about the surface of the canvas texture. I like to make a lot of scribbly, sort of impressionistic kind of things come together. And so I may work without, quote, an underpainting, and then knock this whole thing back and obliterate it. I did that when I was working on the Razor Fist stuff. So it's so funny, man. It's so funny. Sean just said, yeah, catch me tomorrow. Yeah, that's right. There you go. Oh my God, you guys are hilarious. Yeah, you're the environment guy. You set the mood. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. Everybody's saying hello, hello. I watched Steve Rude paint, and I feel like his undercoat darkens the final painting. Yeah, it depends. Everybody's far be it from me to to offer any kind of critique or whatever to Steve Rude. I love that guy's stuff. I just think it really just everybody has their own idiosyncrasies to how they approach a particular painting, and I try to mix it up in a way to where it's kind of fun and challenging in different ways. And I, because I've never painted these characters before, and I'm sort of thinking my way through it, I think best, for me anyway, I feel like I think best as a drawer. So I kind of dial up my drawing aspect of what I'm doing when I'm doing this work, and that brings the quality to it. That brings the quality to it. And like I said, I don't usually... I shouldn't say usually because it just depends on what I'm doing, but I don't paint on canvas when I'm painting Nosfero, and so painting on canvas brings with it a very different feel, and it changes how I work. It changes how I approach things, and so yeah, that's the stuff I love. But I'm gonna go for a very my sense of it is, as I work, I'm going to go for a very kind of cool, high-tech, sort of more glossy finish for this, but with this that's the word I'm looking for, gnarly, one of my favorite words, this gnarly kind of look, man. Oh, thank you, Camel, I appreciate it. You're nailing this. Already want this painting for myself. That's right. Well, yeah, put the money together. I know a lot of people... How do I word it? A lot of people, and I understand. Obviously, it's your characters. It's so of course you'd want it, but it's like I said. I mean, it's. I am glad when people. I'm glad that I'm fortunate enough, and I thank God that I can do things, and I've gotten the ability and the discipline to develop this stuff to be able to bring beauty to you guys, and I really mean this sincerely. I was updating the credits for channel members today, and it was a bit overwhelming in the best sense. I felt really just inspired by you guys. I'm inspired when you guys just come in here, hang out, and we paint, when you guys send super chats, when you guys back Nosfero. Again, it is just it's never lost on me. I think appreciation is probably one of the biggest engines for joy in your life. And I have a lot of joy because I have a lot of appreciation for you guys. That's what it is, man. Yeah, texture is obvious. Yeah, absolutely. Love texture. I love texture. Go fun shop. Yeah, gnarly. So 80s. Oh, I'm totally. Yeah. Indeed. Channel members are the best. Yes, they are. Stephen Rockwood is my first channel member. Being able to draw and conceptualize my ideas into art is one of the greatest gifts I've ever received. Yeah, and I think it's a crazy thing, right? Because there's a lot of people that inspire me that I'm amazed. How do I word it? I'm amazed when I get to introduce people to them. Like it's always so fun. Like there's a mask kind of sculptor guy named Akihito, and he does just some incredible stuff. There's Simon Lee, Spider Zero, who was the concept sculptor. He does a lot of his work in traditional media because he's so fast. Who did Godzilla, the Transformers movies. He did Pacific Rim and all the kaiju for that. He's done all this amazing Lovecraftian stuff. I mean, he is a sculpting genius, an incredible guy. My favorite thing about art is how easy it is. Absolutely, right? Absolutely. Oh my God, you guys are cracking me up. And so, yeah, guys, I have Boots and Heels linked in the description. If you haven't backed it yet, could you do me a solid and go over there and back the book? Because that's ultimately... that's another reason why I do what I do in CG and in the Iron Age of art. I'm promoting creators. That goes for Razor Fist as well, who I really should have the link to his book in the description. It's Death Mask is coming out on the 12th, and Razor Fist is a fellow Iron Age creator, a brother in the Iron Age with me. So hail to you, Razor Fist. But yeah, I mean, it's we're here to inspire people, sell comics, and help people to bring art into their lives and be a part of something that's really awesome, really cool. And yeah, it's the stuff we love. Happy birthday, KSSS. It's great to see you, my friend. And happy birthday to me. Thank you so much for remembering. And may I say, bro dogs. Hail Shane Davis. Bro dog. Speaking of masks, have you ever been to Venice, Italy, and seen those masks? Those are amazing. I've been to Venice. I didn't see those masks in Venice, but I know the masks you're referring to, and they're astounding. Yes, indeed. Happy birthday, KSS. Yeah, please back, guys. If you haven't, we're closing in on 30K. Amen. There you go, guys. There you go. Happy birthday, KSS. Absolutely. Yes, indeed. Back, Boots, and Heels right there. There it is, guys. There's the link. Thank you, sir. I do appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, it's an incredible thing to just, you know, the thing about painting is that there's something really soothing about watching it when the person who is doing the painting, obviously, is in the right frame of mind. And it's not, how do I word it? Bob Ross just channeled that in such a beautiful way. You know, he channeled that just being in the moment painting, and then being able to talk at the same time about it, being able to talk and you know, with the camera, which to me is a lot harder. I think Bob Ross, I don't know if it would have been harder or easier for him if he had a chat and someone was reading him comments. Maybe it would have distracted him, but I find it to be an incredibly difficult thing to imagine. You know, to have, you know, be talking to a camera, talking to the air. It's incredible. And that's the stuff I love, you know. Look at all the love here. What's up, Michael Deach? It's good to see you, my friend. Bro Dogs is simultaneously the dumbest and the best thing I've seen in a long time. Shane is a quiet genius. Yeah, he's a genius. We love it, man. What is up, channel member? Oh, Maromi is here. Great to see you, Maromi. How are you doing, brother? Cranberry Langers. Hello, Mr. Ingetti. Hello, channel member Cranberry Langers. I tip my cap to you. It is great to see you here. Wow, the chat's just jumping. Thank you for saying so much easier for him. Yes, absolutely, you think? Yeah, the chat is ruthless, too, so it might have been tough. Shane is a savant. Yeah, he is. He's awesome. I love Shane. Shane's a fellow kaiju brother, and, yeah, Shane's a fellow fight fan. John, and bow to the long ago mentioned Miss Ingetti. Absolutely bow to Mrs. Ingetti. She is a great lady. She's an iron lady for sure, man. She's one of us. This is the thing about it, right? The thing I respect the most about my wife is her dedication to work, her dedication to other people. I've never seen anybody in my life as dedicated to trying to improve the quality of life of others. And it's a rare thing. It's a beautiful thing when you see it. And her empathy is something that it's extraordinary. Her empathy that she has for people who have experiences that she has not had, which I guess is the definition of empathy, is one of the most remarkable things about her. And she has come home from work worrying about students, who are, living in group homes and can't afford art supplies, and doing the things that she can do to help them. It's even if they're not your spouse, if you are fortunate in your life to meet people like that, maybe to have parents or siblings or friends who do that kind of work where they just are caring members of their community, it is a wonderful thing. Those people make the world a better place. They're not political. They're not. They don't have some overarching agenda. When they help people, it is a one-pointed focus on a human being, and yeah. I think she's the cat's pajamas, man. Is it Sani's or Sani's Tube? Hi, mate. How did you color comics in the early days? Did you use gouache or the color was added during print? When I was coloring, how did they color comics? Well, they used the 4-color process, which was the keying the colors and what percent they would be of different colors in the beginning. Then it was, so that's probably the more poppy colors. Sometimes they would have the higher end stuff where they would be able to actually photograph it in plates, and it was for the fully painted stuff. So that's all changed. And then, of course, digital coloring, computer coloring has been the biggest part for right now. I mean, that's been the biggest part. But yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I'd ask, check out my brother Gabe's channel. Check out Kelsey Shannon, I'm sure has talked about this sort of stuff because he's a super comic nerd like myself, an art nerd. And yeah, man, that's the fun stuff. Oh my gosh, the chat jumped. Hyper Wizard, it is great to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Michael Bancroft, who are we drawing today? We are drawing Claude Agent right now. So yeah, lots of stuff going on. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna miss these because it just jumped big time. I'm trying to get hooked on phonics. Yes, indeed, guys, sign up for the Lucent Painted Death, my brother Michael's stuff. Do check him out. Yes, indeedy. Yes, everybody's saying hello, hello, hello. Lots of love here. FYI, old color guides made for some nice wall art. Yes, and you can get some of them. You can get some of those. Excellent. Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. You can get some of those on eBay. It's great. Old ladies used to hand paint them by numbers. True story, Michael. Yeah, you can get color keys and things like that I saw some for the McFarlane Spider-Man run once, and I was thinking, oh man, I wouldn't mind getting one of those, but those things are really cool looking. Yeah, a lot of the stuff that was disposable at the time, but had this certain hand quality to it, is now very much, coming back in vogue. And that's why I think people are, why the cost of original artwork has gone up so much, is because as more and more people do digital artwork, there's less and less hand-done work being done at all, good, bad, or different. So if you've got the hand skills to make originals like this, people pay a lot for them because it's something that is rare. You have the entire thing. You're the only person who owns it. The only person who owns it. There is no other. There's prints. There's all those other things which are great. I love that stuff too. Believe me. This is not an anti-digital thing because I do digital artwork as well. I enjoy it. I find it meditative in a different way. But there is something about, like, Michael's a good example. Michael owns 2 of my originals. He owns 2 original head sketches. One is an ARO and one is painting I did of his character. So that's the fun thing about it. Let's see here. Yes, I do need to get hooked on phonics. You don't even know. It's gotten bad. I didn't know gouache what gouache was before, and Jenny mentioned it. CG is educational. Listen, it's been educational for me. You're absolutely right. Let's not allow these skills to be lost to time. Amen. We pass them on. That's why I love the Townsend's channel so much. When you see people who are passing on skills like blacksmithing, leather tooling, they even have videos on making bricks, which I thought was really cool to look at how that was done. It's not something you see every day. And they just hit, I want to say congratulations to them, even though they'll probably never see this, but congratulations to Aaron, Ryan, and especially John and everybody over at Townsend's on hitting 2 million subscribers by simply just creating an apolitical place where they pass on and try to make history live without any of the political silliness or nonsense. They are passing on those traditions, and it's 18th century specific. So really the century that this country was founded, which I think is beautiful. You know, Admiral Wackass, channel member, it is great to see you, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, Michael has a character. Yes, he does. So cool. What's his name? Oh my gosh. There's a lot of Ellas out there. Let me tell you that. We love that in Comicsgate for some reason. There's Lilies, there's Ellas, there's a lot of L's. There's a guy on eBay selling the original metal printing plates used for Marvel and DC in the 70s and 80s. His family had a contract to recycle the metal. He saved a bunch from scrapping. That is awesome. Yes, Townsend's is a great channel. Love that channel. If ever you need it. Bricks don't you... Yeah, I know. Well, there. If only. If only. Let me see here. Yep, my... Yep, make excuses on difference. Choices yours. Yes, make excuses or make a difference. Choices yours. Got it. God, I gotta learn how to read better. Bro, did you formally went to art school or learn anatomy or by practice? I did go to art school. I would say the majority of my technical skills came from practice because they were not teaching a ton of technical skills in art school to this day. I actually, when I was teaching, I taught in art school for 18 years. And my classes and a couple of my friends' classes were probably the only skill-specific classes. And so, yeah, I learned through a mentorship with a comic book artist who I would drive 2 hours to go and see, but a lot of it was sitting down with anatomy books in the days before YouTube and videos. Yeah, it was crazy when I think about it. I just wanted to draw and paint more than anything. I've seen your art going up by 20% so quickly. Oh, thank you. Jeez, Moromi, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. That's so kind of you to say, man. Hi, Cranberry. Camel Moon's in the house. Camel Moon, nice. Yeah, you gotta love it, man. Camel Moon, nice. Oh, thank you, Moss. I appreciate that. It was great having you guys as students. It was fun. Let's see here. Rashi Strider. Oh, yeah, I subscribe to that channel. Old cooking recipes of theirs are interesting, too. Yeah, absolutely. And they build a canoe, a dugout canoe, which is cool. Whoa, dollars. Yeah, there you go. Dollars are important. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. If it don't make sense, it don't make dollars. Libraries are useful. Yes, they're very useful. The first anatomy book that I ever got, of course, my God, you're very welcome. And thank you, Vero, so much for being here. It's great to see you. And let me just say this. Thank you to the channel members. I'm sharing my knowledge, but I want to always make sure I'm clear about this. The people who send super chats, thank you so much. The people who are channel members, especially, guys, you make this stuff so possible. You have no idea. And so, yes, thank the channel members as well. Please thank the channel members. They're making this happen. You taught at 2 different schools. I believe RISD is one. What was the other one? The other one was called Montserrat College of Art, and RISD was my alma mater in Providence, Rhode Island, where I came off to school. I didn't know anything about art colleges. It was a total random chance because in Tennessee, where I was growing up, I never really thought that you went to school for art. That wasn't something that I didn't take art classes in high school, so I was just drawing comics because nobody liked comics. Art teachers were not wildly into comics. And so let me show you guys something too while we're here. Again, Bob Ross lives in my soul. Let's have some fun. While we're here, I want to show you what I love about painting acrylic on canvas real quick, because this really is a fun part of it, is that I get to do things that I can't be as bold doing when I'm working on the illustration board. And one of those things is just getting out sort of a larger flat brush and just kind of putting in those marks. Should I load this thing up good? There we go. Oh, that is fun. There we go. You know, let's have a good time. That's what this is about, man. That's what this is about. We're living. We're living. We're enjoying things. We're enjoying life. That's what it's about. Life is a blessing, man. We're not into comics. Our teachers into comics now? No, they're not. They hate comics. They hate manga. They hate all that stuff. Always have. I had a professor that was RISD. She was interesting, very much into conceptual stuff. That described most of them. I was accepted to RISD, but ended up going to SVA. Well, there you go. RISD, the groomsman, one of my classmates. It's good to see you, man. Yeah, yes, indeed. Let me see here. Let me see. We're on the comics. Shanthan Jetty, art, member chat from Admiral Wackass. Oh, hold on a second. Where did I miss it? Where the hell is it? Hang on a second here. Oh, let me go into, oh, cool. Hold on. It doesn't show it in StreamYard, so I've got right here. Shanth and Jetty Art members only jackets when? Oh, I love it, man. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me get back to it in StreamYard. Hang on. And there it is. Where is it? Does it show something next to it? I just want to see. Me double check here. Sorry, guys. I'm always like... Yes, channel members only jackets. I can't find the chat in here for some reason. That is a really weird phenomenon. But yes, we're going to get it done. Those gray jackets are important, man. Members only. Even if we're the last members, we're making that happen. Hail Shanth, love tuning into CGs, the joy of painting, and have it playing in the background while working. Oh, it's an honor to be there. Thank you so much. Yes, I do. Absolutely. I remember Lee Falk as the Phantom without a doubt. Groomsman SVA was no joke. It was $20K a year in the 2000s and lived off campus. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's a crazy thing. Our teachers aren't wildly into comics, just like most college history teachers. Don't take the history of the Wild West seriously. Yeah, without a doubt. But guys, this is the greatest thing in the world. The greatest thing in the world about this is that there are people on YouTube that are doing some really cool stuff. With history and going into this stuff in detail. You see this stuff. You see this stuff more and more. That people are who are passionate about history, especially history that people don't notice, and stuff that gets overlooked. It's one of those things to where when you see people working and putting this stuff together, they're passionate about a particular subject, and they don't wait for someone to tell them, hey, this is okay or interesting. Hell, if there's one thing the Iron Age is about, and there's one thing about what Nosfero is about, and all of the stuff that we're doing here, it is about not asking permission. And again, I'm unintentionally paraphrasing something that Razorfist said, and it's very true. But I used to always say, when I was teaching, but I say this to my brother, who's an illustrator, who's worked on, as a colorist on the Shadows 1941 book, that famous comic book that Mike Kaluta drew. He worked as a colorist on it with people like Mark Chiarello. And we have this saying when we talk about our art, which is, Tengo permiso. I have permission. Make the stuff. Make it happen. Don't sit around waiting for permission. Life is way too short for that, man. And by the way, there is beauty to be had out there. So if you're in a situation, and Comicsgate has given us this, the Iron Age gives us this, if you're in the history gives us this. If you're in a situation where there is no beauty in your life, pick yourself up and go to a place where people are making beautiful, cool, inspirational stuff. And if there's something that you want to say and put out there, that you think is positive and worth people hearing, do it. Put it out there and see what the reaction is. There are no guarantees, but it is better to actually do something and try to change the landscape than sit around and get stuck in a negative, feedback cycle. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, here's the thing I would say this. Here's the thing I would say about this, too. And Sam Goyer, great to see you. My God, there's so many people. It's moving fast. What's up, Real Sean Crummel? It is great to have you here. Here's the biggest thing I would say, guys. The people that I have met in terms of in my life, and I have been such crazy chance encounters. I'm sure most of you guys look back at your friendships. Hell, even when you think about, we were talking about pets earlier. When you look at your pets and how they come into your life, You go somewhere and you just know, oh, this is my pet. This is the way it's going to work. Artwork or books that you fall in love with. I actually thought it was funny that Razor Fist was introduced to the Shadow by working somewhere where they were giving a lot of books away. And he was going through the books, and there sticking out from the pile of books he has was The Shadow 1941, which was colored by my friend, who refuses to believe that that book was of major impact. Well, CG's a lot like this. I did not know Ethan Van Sciver's work, even though I was into comics for a while, in terms of... I read contemporary comics, Marvel, DC, then I moved over to Image, and then I was buying back issues, so I've always been into comics, but a lot of it was back issues. And so I found his work because of, his Last Jedi videos. And then I was like, man, this guy can draw. Why haven't I ever heard of his stuff? And, now I'm a big fan of his stuff. His stuff is great. Sometimes there's no time like the right time. There's so many people getting into comics right now who've never been into it, getting into manga, getting into all this cool stuff that's going on. And so my job when I'm doing this stuff and doing this artwork is to paint something that somebody wants to buy and put in their home because, again, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And also to bring some inspiration, some passion, some super chats, some channel members, all that stuff. But I am an advocate for art and pulp in the Western canon and what we're doing here. That is what it is. What is up, Crenshaw? Is it Crenshaw Fail or Crenshaw Foul? Dated an art school girl once. One time, she wanted to draw some stuff together. I drew a comic page. She rolled her eyes and told me it was juvenile. Oh, that's rough, man. Let me see. John, nope. Just, though I tell people I'm a song and dance man. There you go, guys. There you go. Yo, Admiral. Are you selecting the colors much early, even before you start painting, or is it just happens as you paint? Both, actually. I mean, I know what color this character is supposed to be, but how do I word it? I see the colors, I see the images in my head, but they're not resolved. I'm not one of those people who sees the image perfectly or has a desire to do that. I see an image or an idea, it's kind of loose, and then when I look at the canvas, I start to really see the thing happen. Like I start to really see it come together, and the color's a part of it. So the reason why I've chosen these characters to paint right here is because I'm what's the word I'm looking for? The reason why I picked these colors or these characters is because they're complementary colors. So, for example, this character right here is yellowish orange, and I wanted to have both of these characters in shadow in the foreground, but I wanted to have them play off of each other. So that's kind of the thinking I go into, but it's really all about that sense of play. We got 37 people in here, guys. Make sure you're sharing the stream out. Make sure you're hitting that like, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you're new here and you have not subscribed to this channel, please do. Let's move the needle. I think we're almost to 1.25, if that's correct. We're almost to that. Subscribers to this channel, and I thank you so much for that, guys. I really appreciate it. Because yeah, like I said, every bit helps. And I hadn't really experienced being throttled by YouTube until recently. And so yeah, if you've missed streams and things like that, don't be shocked, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Hitting like, leaving comments, even on old streams, is always appreciated because it really does affect things. It really is a big part of this stuff. So here's a little trick too for me when I'm painting is I'm going to make this character yellow. And one of the things I want to do with it is I want to make sure it's not as yellow from the start, sort of like it's more of an underpainting. And so the way I do that, and this is one of the best things to do when you're coloring, is hit it with the complementary color. And let me see if I can move this down just a little bit so it's easier to see. There we go. Hit it with the complementary color. Mix a little bit of purple into it, just a bit. And it won't make it such an intense color. It will brown that color down. That's what complementary colors do. When you hear the term making something chalkier or making something darker, you're talking about adding black and white into it most cases. But when you hear that expression, making the colors muddier colors, the best muddy colors, are made by mixing two complements into each other. And so when you mix purple and yellow together, you get this sort of muddier it's a very particular type of muddy brown color. It's not the same one that you get from mixing red and green into each other. And the brighter the two colors, the more pure the two colors you mix into each other are, the better mud you'll get. Mixing two muddy colors into each other does not give you what you want in terms of the best and richest muddy colors. So I'm going to go and wash this back with a little bit of yellow and a little bit of purple mixed together to get that brown in there. And that's one of the things I love, man. Ooh, it's Dante. That's Claude Angels Ross. Oh, cool. You got it, man. Of course. Had to be done. Brown, flush it down. Michael had a legal career. I don't know if you guys know this. He defended O.J. Simpson. And he was like, if it's brown... No, don't say that, actually. That sounds terrible in that context. Yeah, if the glove don't fit, you must acquit is the most important thing. But, when I'm working on this kind of stuff and I'm looking at, how do I put this value into it? Do you see what I mean? How that ground gives us something to build off of. It gives us something to work off of. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean in a second. There we go. Because these characters are going to be in silhouette anyway. Not complete silhouette. And hail Phil Diaz, speaking of silhouette. And Zaid Comics. But yeah, this is the thing about it. Is that as we mix these colors together, it gives us, in a way, an underpainting in a sense. I mean, it's not really, but it's more of just a ground. But it allows me to think about what these characters are going to be and what they're capable of becoming. And I can't really think about what highlights are when I don't have any middle tones. And so I always say that one of the most important things you can do to have an easier time painting is, in some ways, to lay down a ground. That's why I think a lot of artists do it. It's great. You lay down that ground, and then you've got some room to move. Your highlights can mean something. Talking and drawing with our friend Shave. Shoff, do you know a lot about color? Why does purple food... Shave is killing me, man. Shave in the chat. Yeah, everybody's saying hello, hello, hello. Indeed. Yeah, it is. It's very strange, to watch that stuff. I love... Again, I think that... He's past, God bless him, God rest him, Bob Ross, but he's still crushing it on YouTube for a reason. It's because he really brings a lot of magic to what he's doing. Now, here's something fun I like to do. Now that I've got some muddy color in there, just for fun, just for play, because it's not like with acrylic paint and with paint in general, guys, you don't need to be stressed out about it. Doing a bad painting, is there's not really any consequences to it. It's, and then the only way to do good paintings is to focus and try to improve. And you're going to have to do some bad paintings to get there. I see more people atrophy in their work by being afraid to try something that's difficult outside their comfort zone. And not improve because they stay in a very limited space. So here we go. Oh, let me move this light so it's a little easier for you guys to see. There we go. Don't want to cast too much of a shadow, but it's a little tricky here. And now I'm going to go in and mix in a little bit of white into that, just so I got a little bit more coating strength. And then I'm just going to bring in something bright right there on that side, just as a fun little color note. There we go. And we're going to bring that around. Right in there. Mix in even a little bit more. And I'm going to bring that out just a little bit more. And you can see when we start to do that, even though those are very similar in value, as that color dries, it's not that different in terms of its value, which is to say it's light and... Whoa. Sorry about that, guys. Just pushed the camera off the desk. That's what happens sometimes. Let's see if I can stabilize that. There you go. Let me see if I can move this. Hang on one sec. This is going to be a two-hander. Let me see here. There we go. There we go. That's a little better. Hey, there it is. But this is the thing. When you're working on this stuff, see in the chat, What Pulp Fiction artist would you recommend to someone who wants to learn that style? I would say George Rosen. George, George, Rosen, Rozen. Great artist, great early pulp artist. He did some shadow, he did mostly shadow stuff, but he did do a couple of, I think the last couple Doc Savage covers, but really a huge fan of George Rosen. Love his stuff. So yeah, he's my favorite shadow artist. When I was doing the artwork or the paintings I was playing around with for of Razorfist's characters, I was looking at a lot of George Rosen stuff because George Rosen is the man. And I find there's a boldness to his stuff that informs almost all of the shadow stuff that came after it. And I wouldn't say he's underrated if you look at his artwork and what it goes for on auction. He's doing all right. But man, I wish more people were nuts about his stuff because he is really, really good. Really great artist. Let's see if I can put that highlight down in there. There we go. So now you can kind of start to see how that's playing. Do you see how those two edges are working off of each other? That's the fun thing. Yeah. Pushing the camera into the desk is all the rage today. Yeah, I literally shoved the clamp off the desk trying to adjust this thing, man. It is too funny, man. It is too funny. You know, but that's a huge part of it. And so that yellow right there and that value is something that I can start to now play up. Hopefully that's dried just a little bit. Now I can go in and grab this warm orange right here. And what I'm doing when I'm mixing paint is I'm just trying to get the viscosity to the level I want it to be at. And it's the water to pigment ratio is really what it comes down to. And then I'm going to take that and I'm going to just layer in with a warm wash right over that muddier color that I have right there. Just to kind of bring it forward a little bit. Because this character, remember, this is comics, you know, this is what we're passionate about. This is pulp. We never want to try to make things that are so gray and so in service to realism that we lose what makes comics special. There's this line that we have to walk where we don't make things that are so abstract that people disconnect from them, and we don't make them so real that they might as well be looking at reality. It's not, and there's got to be a sense of play. The most important thing that comics have to have, and effective comic art has to have, is that sense of play for me. That's the thing I love about it. There we go. Yeah, just wash those warm notes into there and watch it come to life. I mean, that's the stuff that is just fun. And I don't know if I'm going to keep it till the end, but I just love the happenstance of that highlight that just kind of drifted a little bit, you know, out of where all the rest of the highlights are. Do you guys see what I mean? Just that little bit right there and how fun that is. Yes, escapism indeed. And thank you, John, for dropping the link for Boots and Heels. And we've got Stephen Rockwood Drawings YouTube channel there in the link. Rob likes what he likes. He likes The Money Pit. Hey, that's a good movie, actually. Razorfist YouTube channel. Shanth has nothing to fear as long as he draws with pen. Oh, dude. Dude, you don't even know. Yeah. Rob would call him underrated, but Rob also calls Da Vinci underrated. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Andrew Wilson? How are you doing? Yes, Afternoon and Jetty. Christmas on the ready. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Absolutely. So is Lethal Weapon 1. I hope the Andretti clan is doing well. Oh my gosh, did Michael Bancroft just become a channel member? Are you kidding? Holy cow, Michael. Thank you. My God, man. I appreciate it, brother. Holy cow. Guys, every time someone becomes a channel member, I'm like, I look like I've won the Oscar, man. It's just the way I am. Allow me to send a cheerleader your way, brother, and thank you so much. Charge! Made with Liberty in the USA and Made with Liberty in Australia. Hail, brother. Much love. Oh, my God. The groomsman has become a channel member. I'm going to have to update those credits again today. I always ask myself, what would I do if Bob Ross had a live stream I watched today? I would pay him and then back his book. Thank you, sir. Yes, that is absolutely incredible. And thank you for becoming a channel member. How did I miss that? Was that way back when you became a channel member? Or was it channel member and you sent that? That is unbelievable, groomsman. Thank you so much, brother. I am touched. Holy cow, you guys are amazing. Allow me to send a cheers. mean, just don't get in trouble with the missus. You guys know how that is. Stephen Rockwood drawing. I'm already sitting at the mailbox. There you go, man. Yes, indeed. This is a blast, guys. I love doing this stuff. That is the fun of it. Yeah. Back his book, Shantan Jetty's Nosfero. Thank you. Yeah. That book is absolutely looking beautiful. Ooh, The Last Boy Scout, Long Kiss Goodnight, both Christmas movies. I love action movies for Christmas. I have to tell you, I really enjoy that movie, The Fat Man, Mel Gibson movie. That movie is insane, man. But yeah, guys, the book is looking beautiful. The world is coming together, and just I feel like sometimes you make choices, and you take a leap of faith. And this has been an incredible leap of faith in more ways than I could ever probably articulate. But going on YouTube, starting a channel, people like, Rob Arnold and John Malin, who were my first two guests. They forced me to try to learn how to have guests on with Ecamm, and then both told me I needed to get on StreamYard because it was such an awful experience. So much love to my brother Rob Arnold and my brother John Malin. But it's just been incredible with you guys and watching this channel grow and watching, people just take something positive away from it. I think that's the main thing for me, is I like that you guys come in here and you can chill at work and listen to it and get something positive out of it, man, because it just means a ton. It means a ton to me, man. My birthday was is in 20 days. Stan Lee and Denzel Washington's too. My God, that is a wonderful combination. Denzel Washington is one of my heroes, man. Seven is my favorite Christmas movie. Skip Edwards art. It's great to see you, Skip Edwards, by the way. Holy cow, why is it not letting me show comments? What the heck just happened there? That was weird. Yeah, the stream just crashed when I tried to click on something. But my birthday was in 20 days. Stan Lee and I have the same birthday. Yeah, what the heck was that? What was that? We don't know what that was. I'm back. No, I'm back. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, rocking the paint, leaving suckers in tears. Do you understand? Houston, we have a problem. I was born in Houston, as you know. I don't know what the heck that was. That was weird. I think they're doing construction outside. They might have hit something. Let me know if you guys can see me. One in the chat, man. One in the chat if I'm alive and well. Yeah, that is weird, man, because I'm plugged directly into the cable, so I don't know what the hell happened. The cable runs right in my back. Back in action. What's up, Mighty Magic? But I wanted to say, welcome to Skip Edwards Art. That was the plan that we were trying to do. Welcome, Skip Edwards Art. It's great to see you. Yeah, story of my life. There we go. David G, thank you so much, guys. Thanks for letting me know. Stephen Rockwood's like, I'm not sure where you are. Yeah, I don't know. Something must have blown up the craziness of the internet there. Who knows? But yeah, we are back. Did you pay the bills? I know, right? You never know, guys. You never know. But like we say, you never know how long you have, so every moment is a blessing, I think is what is often said. But yeah, I mean, it's been incredible to watch these campaigns grow, and it's been incredible to be a part of growing Comicsgate. I was listening to Ethan talk the other night, and he was talking about entertainment and selling comics, and I think and it was really great. It was what he was saying, and he was saying actually it was in the morning. I think it was on Malin's channel, and I was thinking about one of the toughest things about any endeavor you do is the figuring out how to sell your work and how to sell and promote stuff in a way that works for you. And for me, a lot of that stuff is just, you can't really fake any of that stuff, like who you are and what you do. I mean, you can try it if you like, but good luck. YouTube seems to be one of those things where it's like, I don't know how anybody would multitask and bullshit at the same time. That just, to me, if you've got that skill, you should be doing something more nefarious with your skill set. Hail the Nefarious, by the way. But I don't know how that would work. But for me, watching channels like Townsend's and watching people like Bob Ross made me think there might be people who are coming into Comicsgate and who are interested in being here, and are looking for, or who don't know we exist, but who would be interested, and maybe painting is going to be their entry. Maybe that'll be their introduction to some of these characters. Do you guys know what I mean? And that is huge. Yeah, absolutely. Gary Martin's Instagram has crazy inking. Yes, indeed. Always check out John Malin's YouTube channel. If you missed Omega Storm, make sure you're following what he's up to with his campaigns. All right, past Master Dan. I'll see you in a sec. Improby indeed. What's up? Real Sean Crummel is here. The hardest part is getting people to notice you and give a crap about your work. And that's the funny thing too, right? Is that I certainly don't know what it is like the Townsends to hit 2 million subscribers and all of that stuff. And different people have different ways they go about, like thinking about how they're going to strategize that kind of stuff. Here's the advice I would give anybody though on this stuff is that, and this was the advice that was given to me. Just start talking about the stuff that you're interested in and bringing your passion to what you're doing, and you will learn what the language is that you want to communicate with, if that makes sense. Like you will learn who your audience is and what you're good at and what you're passionate about doing. And if you watch the stream on Townsend's, they did a stream celebrating 2 million subscribers. They talk about their entire history on the channel and how they didn't know what they were doing. He started that channel shortly after YouTube was a thing. I think they were doing it for like 9 years or something like that. And one day they stumbled upon, hey, people want to watch us cook, do 18th century cooking. It was just something they tried on a lark. But much like, you can't get a hit if you don't take a swing, when it comes to YouTube, you have to practice things and you have to evolve. Sometimes, something you do for a little while, you're going to lose interest in, or you're not going to be, it's not going to be the focus. Sometimes you're going to want to mix it up, and you can't. I think probably one of the worst things that you can do in terms of your stamina, unless you're the kind of person who likes buying stocks and that kind of thing, which I totally get. That's not a diss. Is just chasing the algorithm. But I think the thing about YouTube and the thing about all of this stuff is there is not one way to be successful, but there are certain ways to be successful. I'm trying to figure out how to promote t-shirts with my designs. Yeah. It's amazing. Like there's so many different questions that come up in terms of like what you're trying to promote and how you do it. I think sometimes right now Twitter is probably one of the best places to promote your stuff because the algorithm is going to be the least ridiculous, but it's tough to say, man. Yeah, Flex Your Brain, Fourth Age YouTube channel. Yes, indeed. Check it out. Fourth Age on Indiegogo, The Valiant Heroes. Let me see if I make sure. I need to start making a video about my book. Yes, absolutely. Start making YouTube videos to promote your stuff. Oh, thank you, Admiral. I do appreciate that, my friend. Yeah, Gary Martin's stuff is awesome. Just making sure I've got everybody's chats checked out now. Yes, she's married now. There you go. Yeah, guys, the sooner you start talking about your book, that's another thing that Malin talks about, which is you can't just show up on on the scene and not have ever had a channel and not talked about your book and expect it to go well, because it's a weird thing, but being busy and promoting your stuff is a really great index for how successful you're going to be in CG, largely because, how do I word it? People who are being productive tend to become easily seen as being productive people. I know, almost sounds crazy, right? That if you are productive, you will come across as productive to people. If you want people to think you're an artist, start making artwork. It'll be hard for them to avoid coming to that realization. So here's a bit of crazy color right now for you. I'm going to take this manganese blue, and I'm just going to wash it over the lower part of the face, the purple, just to get a contrast in there for now. That is not going to be where we end, but I want to get a middle tone in there. And blue seems like a fun middle tone, at least for that bit. Right there. Blue seems like it'll be a really fun middle tone. And then what I can do is I can take that purple, mix it in with a little bit of that blue, and I can have that set aside for another wash. So here we go again. Mix that in. There we go. Move that around. And then grab a little bit of this purple. Mix that in there. I'm just going to kind of watch what that does, just to give it a little bit of texture. There we go. There we go. Now that's fun. Move that camera up just a little bit. Get it a little bit more spot on. And then I'm going to go in, grab a little bit more of this purple, and just kind of drop that in just to give it a little bit more of what I want in that shadow right there. There we go. Let's see if I can make that without breaking the camera setup. There we go. Let's see if I can make that do what I need it to do. And that stuff right there starts to build out what the value is going to be for this world. And that's the stuff I love doing. Newton's first law, indeed. Getting an audience to invest in you is the secret sauce, is the difference between Dam Drop's 165 backers and Eric July's 47,000 backers. Who's Eric July? He sounds interesting. Yeah, Eric July is the man. Yeah, because his people are passionate about him because he's real. And this is the thing, guys. Yeah, hard work is the best promotion. It absolutely is. Yeah, and I will say this. Depending... short of paying people. That's absolutely right. This is the thing about it. Working on the writing for Ford, Metacomet, Supernova, Creed, Brimstone, and Basalgar, is that it? And prepping for the artists. Yeah, guys, this is a big thing, right? Is that if you think about it, seeing people like Eric is always real with his audience, and I think Michael always says this too as well. Don't lie on YouTube; it's not a good idea. And outside of that, and in addition to that, make sure, the realer you are with people and the more honest you are with people, in terms of, not honest, what am I looking for? Because some people, are use it as an excuse to be obnoxious. They're like, if I can be honest, I'm just being honest. I mean it more in the sense of, share the stuff you're passionate about. Don't be embarrassed about the stuff that you're super into. And try to find that audience that is, or try to help the audience find you, might be a way of looking at it. Because when I'm painting, I can honestly tell you that it's the thing that you will sometimes be surprised at, the thing that you do that people respond to the most. Yeah, don't lie, period. Well, yeah, seriously. 12 rules for life, right? It's generally a bad idea. Generally a bad idea. I find it exhausting the older I get. Wow, an audience that big, and that's your backer count? Damn, yeah, that is what it is, yeah. Keep doing what you're doing, Hyper Wizard. You're starting to make waves. There you go. Yes, and listen to good people who you can... listen to good people like Michael, who give feedback in a way that is not agenda-driven, is sincere. Michael will benefit and has benefited tremendously in loyalty from people because people see over time that when Michael does give advice, it is pragmatic advice, it is encouraging advice to sometimes tell people to make sure they're staying on course. And that's really what it comes down to. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, thank you, Michael Bancroft. To be honest, I'm just trying to have fun. And that's really what it comes down to. Look at Jeremy. Look at Lord Crackhead 33, man. He's just crushing it. They should have gone with Review Bra. He'd promote his book. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, right. It's a crazy thing to put yourself out there like this. But again, if you want to sell things, and that's why that video that I posted not long ago about that Twitter thread that is was how to get rich without getting lucky. And he talked about wealth creation games. And he talked about creating things like blogs or videos or any of that stuff. And he said, learn how to create and learn how to sell. You can do those two things, you'll be unstoppable. And I think that Michael is a really shining example in Comicsgate of somebody who knows how to create and knows how to sell. And I think, of course, our biggest example of that is Ethan Van Sciver. He knows how to create and he knows how to sell. In so many ways, he is definitely, while Malin and your boy were the first out of the gates, I think he can honestly say, again, that he started this gangster shit in terms of the supernova level that things have gone to. And I think one of the things that is any help is going to contribute to what you do, but it's or any help is going to contribute to Comicsgate and contribute to the Iron Age. So make sure you're working. People who work hard notice other people who work hard. It is very, very true. So make sure you do it. Ambassador Bancroft, amen. Yeah. And I think it's an interesting thing to consider, that you will be, how do I word it? People notice who is working hard. Oftentimes I think it can feel like that is not the case, but also play the long game. Don't play the short game with anything. If you're doing something on YouTube, even if it gets you a lot of attention, but you don't feel good about it at the end of the day, you're just like going, I don't like for me, I don't like critiquing, or there's a couple of things I'm not really into. One is telling people how to do things, or how to live their lives, or or what you should and shouldn't do, or what I think this person could do better. I have no problem with critiquing pop culture. That is something I don't do often, but it's definitely something I don't have a problem with. But I would much rather be enthusiastic and positive when I'm doing my stuff, because that's how I'm most comfortable. That's the zone that I operate in. It's not for any other reason than that. And it was nerve-wracking because, or it can feel nerve-wracking sometimes because I think the reason why it feels nerve-wracking for people sometimes, because I wouldn't say it's been nerve-wracking per se for me, outside of the being out there thing, the introvert, being out in the world kind of thing, when you start comparing yourself to other people. And comparing yourself to other people or resenting other people's success is just the ultimate poison. And I think the people who fare the best on YouTube are not just people who bring something to the table, but people who what's the word I'm looking for? Who are enthusiastic but passionate, funny, whatever they are, but aren't sitting around resenting other people or wondering why they're not doing better. I actually spent a lot of time being grateful for the success I have and being amazed at it. And it's just a better zone to start out in. It's a better, yes, we've talked about this, John. You said that so much, and it's so true. Comparison is the thief of joy. It's so true, and envy corrupts. Yeah, it's absolutely poison, man. And it's such a strange thing, because when you find the people who are expert at being genuinely happy for others, it's gold, and people notice it. I mean, there's no reason for, how do I word it? When somebody is genuinely enthusiastic for others and somebody is out there trying to be a good person, even if they get completely thrown under the bus, like Johnny Depp is a really good example of that, you'll be amazed at how many people will come forward, even, when, they're trying to, pull themselves out of something really tough, and say, he visited my kid in the hospital, or he visited me in the hospital, or he always took such good care of us. He was always kind to me. This isn't right. This is who this person is. And it's kind of an amazing thing. And I think resentment, people notice resentment, and they once they see it, it's hard not to unsee. It's hard not to unsee it. But then I'd say, most people aren't one thing or the other. But stay positive, man, about things, and talk about the stuff you're into. Yeah. Envy is I want what you have. Yeah. Jealousy is I want to take away what you have. Yeah. And what's it do? Nothing, man. Look at all the great people here. You guys are backing books. You guys are excited about art and comics. There's no need for any of that stuff. There's none. This is a fun thing we're doing. It's fun. Ellie Munoz. Yeah, I'm trying to cut back on these doomed... Yes, seriously. Someone asked me when I was a student, they go, what about that theory that isn't all horror political? And you've heard me say this before. No, but all politics is horror. All politics is horror. And it will suck the joy out of your life. You're better off researching and studying civics than studying politics. I like stats. I love listening to economic stats like they talk about on Valiant Renegade. He talks about business and stocks. That stuff interests me a lot. And I love understanding the foundational principles of civics in this country. So yeah, that stuff's different. Trying to get back to the joy I had in my childhood. Kelsey has that joy. He does. Yeah, I need to get back there. It's so important. Your boy left us and is super interested in AI art. Yeah, God bless him. Yeah, that's his journey. Yeah, reject the black pill is right. Yes, balance is imperative. Knows where your joy comes from. Yeah, I don't imply, like, that's the funny thing. It's like when how do I word it? I have, God, I feel like I'm about to quote Tom Hardy in Bronson when he's like, I do have my principles. But I have my principles when it comes to things. I know what I think about things. But drowning myself in what people are telling me everyone is thinking about particular things will absolutely suck the energy out of me. And remember, the goal of propaganda, which is probably the worst form of political artwork, but the goal of propaganda is to demoralize. Your opposition. And so most people in the field of politics are working in the sphere of demoralization more so than inspiration. And whenever you find somebody in politics who comes along that understands the game and knows how to trade on inspiration, they always, you can't compete with them. And so if we can be those kinds of people who are all about, oh my God, yes, thank you, brother. Yeah, the Crimson Shanth and Jedi art is $15 away from $33K. How does it happen? It's crazy, man. Thank you, brother. This painting makes me want to see you do a painted cover for Aaron's Wraith of God. Yeah, well, I'd want to let that Simon Bisley cover percolate a little longer before I jump in, man. That stuff is great. That's a hell of an act to follow on anything. You can see someone's success as an inspiration for you to do better. You're so right, Charlie Stevenson. When I see somebody doing well, the Townsends are a really good example. I felt this genuine sense of pride in what they've accomplished. To see them start out the small business. His father, John Townsend's father, passed away this past year, but he did get to see them grow to 2 million, and it's in his business turn into this incredible thing that it is. But John Townsend is one of those people whose success inspires me. I'd say Ethan Van Sciver's success inspired me to do my first 2 art books, as did John Malin's. What John Malin went through, when they wouldn't let him and your boy Zach's book be on Kickstarter. People overcoming adversity and people staying true to themselves and creating and trying to bring something positive and entertaining to this world is always something I take strength from, man. Always. Once you cannot be happy for someone else, you've begun to die. You're absolutely right. It's so true. No, do the Blu-ray cover art for Bluetooth. Is that or should we say Platoon or Bluetooth? I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool. I'm back. Hey, what's up, Timmy Mello? Also being dehydrated mixed with recovering from... Oh, no, is a drag. Timmy Mello, please take care of yourself. Yes, make sure you're taking care of yourself in that recovery. I don't know if you're like me, but I know a lot of people, when they get sick, they try to get them... It's frustrating to be sick, right? It's frustrating to be taken down. And people try to push themselves and get going too fast. So do take it easy in your recovery. Make sure you're get that chicken broth into your system and let's go. That's what it's about. But yeah, take care of yourself, brother. Put some good movies on. Chill to these streams. Whatever you need, man. Yeah, I'm back. But yeah, I hear you, brother. All politics is horror. I immediately think of... Yeah, well, you can see what a life in politics does to people. It is funny that way. Yeah, get better soon indeed. Yeah. We want you better, brother. We want you better. Very important. But and here's the crazy thing. Beautiful art. I was watching, I think I mentioned this early in stream, but let me bring it back up here. I was looking at the restoration of the Batman 1989 costume that they were doing for the Batman anniversary that passed recently. And I was watching Iron Studios work. And it was so incredibly inspiring to me. And it was something that exists outside of the realm of ideology, outside of the realm of all of those things. It's this example of craft and skill being put to the purpose of restoring something that is of huge cultural significance to many of us. And I just couldn't help but feel inspired to paint. And I had been thinking about doing a painting of Camel's characters, and or what it would be, because he had mentioned, or he had tagged me in the art contest post that he did, to help get the word out. And I thought, well, what is it about comics? What is it about these characters that we have and that we all create that speaks to me? And for some reason, I thought of Batman 1989, and I thought of the restoration of that suit. And I just was watching these craftspeople work, and I started thinking, what is it about that textural quality to so many of these things that's inspiring? And that's what's fueling this right now. The actors that I'm passionate about, like, Willem Dafoe, and the people who have great faces and great characters, and then the taking somebody's character and trying to bring it to life in a way that is both true to what it is, and also something that they haven't seen before, something that is that's new, that they get excited to see. And I think that's what is the fun part about seeing people do renditions of your characters, particularly people that that you admire. Like when Aaron saw Bisley's Wraith of God piece, or if Malin ever gets to see Dale Keown's take on Godlike, that's the joy of it, right? That's what makes it so fun, is that you're seeing somebody bring something new to it. I look at artists like Travis Charest, man, and his stuff is amazing to me. He's a real inspiration. I feel like that's starting to feel like something there. Sean's describing artwork is something. Boy, are they using a chainsaw out there? Holy cow, man. But it's that's the stuff that I get into. Let me see. Let me move my glasses here. Shanthis CG's 100 Eyes from Marco Polo. What is Kung Fu? Is it fighting? No, Kung Fu is supreme skill from artwork. Yes. Amen, Michael. Thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate that. Yeah. KSS, the relentless message to take the black pill is everywhere. Yes, it is. It's absolutely there. It's so funny, man. Yeah, Keown and a Malin cover. Yeah, I know. Marcus, right? I'm like, it's from my lips to God's ears, right? But it's so cool to see that stuff, because you want to see, like, Dale's layout pages for that Salamandroid stuff that Ethan showed the other morning. Holy cow, man, that stuff looks great. Let me see if I can actually, now watch me move the camera off the desk again, but, hope springs eternal. But let me see. Ooh, there you go. That's fun. I want to show you guys just this detail process right here, of really kind of putting in those lines, because I really want to create that, that Kurosawa immaculate reality that he would get in his films, and that happens in those great costumes that we see that people make for superhero movies. People like Iron Studios. There's so much talent and skill out there right now, and when I think about that, it inspires me. Absolutely inspires me, because we're always fortunate when we're living in an environment where skill is flourishing and skill is there to be enjoyed. Here we go. This brush doesn't have the best point on it, but I'm kind of holding off on getting out a new brush because I really want to force myself to think about this in the grand scheme of what it's going to be in the painting, I want Sierra Whiskey to get a Keown cover for their no cover book. That would be awesome. Let's see here. A relentless message. Take the black pill. Q and mailing cover. Tear. Yes, indeed. Why did I just get the feeling I was an otolaryngologist ENT? There you go. I have no idea. I'm not sure. I can't believe I even got through that word without falling over. That was a lot of letters. And I am not the most reading skilled person that I have met in my life, let me tell you. Goodness gracious. You guys are putting me to the test. There we go. See, these shadows, value is such a, which is to say the lights and darks. I hate when that stupid light comes on because it never gives me, there we go. It never gives me the, what I'm after there. Let me see if I can adjust this now. I got to move it back a little bit. There we go. But when you put in those darker values, it's always fun because it gives you this context and this little bit of a touchstone value-wise that brings this thing to life. There we go. I mean, I want this thing to be cool. That's first and foremost what my job always is to make something that's a cool image. Because someone was asking me earlier, one of you guys was asking me, is this for the art contest? And in a sense, yes, it is, obviously, for that art contest. But to me, the objective of the contest, as I understand it, is to sell Boots and Heels books. And whoever finds themselves in the position to be a cover on that book, and I think everybody should just put everything they can when they do anything. Put everything they can into it. Doesn't matter if it's this contest. Doesn't matter if it's your own work. Put what you can put into it if you decide to do it. If you decide not to do it, don't do it. It's fine. But the goal, the objective is to sell books and make something cool. And if you keep your mind in that zone of trying to sell books and trying to make something cool and thinking about the book as your priority, you're going to get better work out of it. It's going to serve that goal. Yeah, leave it all on the field. Guys, I have to tell you, I saw a fight between two British, and I think it was a British and a, was he Irish? I'm not sure, fighter. And it was Conlon versus Lee Wood, if you haven't seen it, Leigh Wood. And the fight ended in the 12th round with Conlon being knocked through the ropes. Catching up with the last few minutes of the stream I missed, getting fan art matter in the skill level is the best feeling in the world. Yes, it is. Absolutely real, Sean Crummell. Yes. And he knocked Conlon through the ropes. And it was a back and forth with Lee Wood getting dropped. And after the fight, Conlon got knocked out of the ring. He was out. They took him to the hospital. And Lee Wood was just saying, I just want to know he's okay. I just want to know he's okay. Those guys shared the ring with each other. And while it was an outstanding win for Lee Wood, you can't get past the fact that those two gave us a performance. They left it all in the ring. And it's such an honor and it's such a privilege to see two fighters give that much of themselves to the sport. And I think it's the same thing with artwork. You know, it's how much we're giving to the fans. The person who buys this piece and owns it and has it in their house, and this piece will be for sale, that person, I want them to have something that is the bar for it is bring them joy. Bring them joy when they have it in their house. Every day when they look at it, I want them to feel that. The gentleman who bought the Cyberfrog original artwork that I did for Ethan, I want it to bring him joy. That is the goal. And I was very happy to hear that it was doing such when he received it. And that is the goal. That is always the goal. And so if you're not there to thrill the audience, thrill the fans when you're fighting, it's and really put on a great performance, honor the history of boxing, honor the history of illustration or art, whatever it is you're doing, then just reset and reconnect with what's really important about it. And I think you'll find it's incredibly rewarding. When I'm streaming, I'm streaming to spend time with you guys and to bring something positive to your day. That's it. You know, that's all it is. If I think too much about things beyond my control, I'm not going to do a good stream. It's not going to happen. I'm here to spend this time and to be present while I do it. And so, yeah, that is my bar. And I'm also here to say to myself, I'm here to make sure I do it too. So that if I haven't streamed in a little while, and obviously stuff comes up, with family and, pet health and things like that. But if it's been a while, I say to myself, all right, you better get in the mood. You better get in the mood to stream and get after it. That's what it comes down to. I paint every day, and I paint every day because it's a discipline. When I work on Nosfero, it's all about the discipline involved. And I do these things. If I say, my hand's a little too tight when I'm working on Nosfero, I'll do something like this to loosen myself up, and then I'll be right back after it. Because it's always me versus the pages in the most wonderful sense. Because I get to bring those pages into full realization of what they're going to be. And then the next step is to bring you guys joy with it. That's really all it is. There we go. I feel like... Shoot, I was paying off frame. Sorry about that, guys. I feel like... that's why I have to move the camera out sometimes. But I feel like what's happening with the highlights right here is starting to do something. It's starting to... yeah. It's starting to... bring it to life in this way. Give it this character. Yes, I have a pet. Yeah, we have a bunny. That pet has an Instagram page. That's the terrifying thing about it. Yeah, performance issues. I'm right. Yeah, of course. Doesn't Shanth mean peace? Yeah, Shanth does mean peace. It means peaceful one. Yeah, Shanth, joy, and jetty. That's what it is. You have succeeded. Thank you so much. Let's see. Yeah, every day. Bow, indeed. Yes, indeed. What's up, Shipper Militia? Channel member. I just got your name in the credits, my friend. I'll be updating the credits for all of you guys who became channel members on this stream. Hail the mighty Shanth, and hail to you, channel member. It is great to see you. But yeah, I mean, there are these sculptural qualities, right, that can give art a really intense and kind of beautiful quality and beautiful meaning. And for people, it's just not even a meaning, a beautiful experience, let's say, because I agree with Joseph Campbell on that. And it just gives people that aesthetic experience. Again, not the anesthetic experience, but the aesthetic experience. And that's the stuff that always excites me about what we do. It's like we have the opportunity to create so much, and I don't just mean with art. I mean going for walks, seizing the day, reading your favorite book, and giving that, to yourself, to enjoy yourself and enjoy your time on this planet. That's the stuff that is so fun, and that's the stuff that kind of enriches us, as artists. That's the biggest part of it for me. What's up, Sheeple Hunter? It is great to see you. Welcome, my friend. It's and that's what we'll continue to do. I mean, think about it. If every single person who is in CG and in the Iron Age is doing something interesting and doing their best to bring interesting conversations and interesting work to the table, we're going to maximize our chance to grow this audience. And that is probably, the most important thing that we're doing is growing that audience. You saw it with Eric July. Eric July did a lot to grow the audience of people in this space. A lot. There were people who were buying their first comic book on that project, or were rekindling their love of comics on that project, and a lot of them came over here to see what we were up to. That's great, man. That's the best stuff right there. I love abstract shapes when I'm painting too, and just those kind of playful, fun shapes that happen, when you're putting this stuff together. So let's do this. Let's if I can do this without knocking over everything. There we go. We'll do a little bit more of a Bob Ross view. Zoom out just a little bit more, so that you guys can sort of see what's happening in this piece. You'll get a sense of what we're doing here and what we're after. Let me turn off that light just a little bit. There we go. Where's the light better? Maybe it's better. But this is like how things are coming together, in this piece. Yes, Carpe aesthetic, indeed, right? Darren Wagner's D-Wag's channel. Do check it out. Good old D-Wag. Yeah, hail to D-Wag. Check out his YouTube channel. Just finished shaving so I can start job hunting fresh. Gotta keep moving. You got to. And good luck, Admiral, with the job hunting, my friend. Absolutely, man. We're wishing you best of luck and all success. Yeah, that's the biggest part of it, man, is when you're getting ready in the morning, when you're getting your setup ready to work, whatever that work is you're doing, take a second to make it a space that is, that can be just like setting things down. Like, it's funny. My wife always laughs. She goes, "How come when you stream, you always put on your shoes and you get dressed and like you're about to go out?" I said, "Because I'm putting myself out in the public when I go to do this work, and I want to put, it helps me to get my mind in the right space." And so, dude, that's absolutely true. Yeah, that's right, absolutely right. The word aesthetic is changing. Kids these days say that's so aesthetic to mean it looks good. You're absolutely right. It's like the word awesome, right? And that's why I love introducing anesthetic to it, because politics and stuff like that are so anesthetic. They just kind of it's like the tax code, right? It's crazy. Admiral Wackass, yes, best wishes. I had a job interview on Tuesday, and they said they will let me know within a week. The wait is driving me nuts. Absolutely. So, listen, do things that inspire you while you're waiting. I know how exhausting that stuff can be and how emotionally tiring it can be. But just remember this, it's your job, and what you're supposed to be doing cannot be taken away from you. It is out there waiting for you, and it is going to happen. Because it would be horrifying, Lauren. Listen, folks, you don't even know the world we live in of streaming failures and mistakes that can happen. Kids these days, Michael Bancroft. Yep. Malin sits there in his underwear. I know he does. You've got to. But listen, sometimes you got to bring it to get it. That's what they say. And Malin brings that thunder. The groomsmen laugh out loud. Yeah. Good luck to you. Absolutely, Sheeple Hunter. Good luck. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? You come into a space like this, or you come into any space, frankly, where there's positive vibes, and it just changes the way that you're approaching things and the way that you're thinking about things. And when I'm looking at the stuff I look at, sometimes I'll wake up and I have certain things that I'll just I'll go to YouTube or I'll go somewhere, and I'll find myself kind of looking at stuff that just kind of doesn't inspire me, doesn't put me in a good place, and I'll just stop and I'll reset, and I'll just take a breather, walk around for a sec, and then I'll go and I'll get that stuff that inspires me into my system, and sort of say, all right, what are we going to do today? And sometimes it's coming down here. Sometimes it's like, first of all, the question's always, what do I have to do today? Simple things, dishes, take out the trash, whatever it is that you've got to do. And then the very next thing I do is I go, okay, now what are we going to do? How do we get into the best mindset for doing things? And if I'm having trouble with an idea, or I'm having trouble painting, I make myself stop, go do dishes, go do some cleaning, do something that is just purely physical, that I bring nothing. I'm turn off my thinking to do it, and then I come back fresh. That's really what it is. You can't, sometimes people will tell you, if you're struggling with a painting or a project, to step away from it for a second. And that's really great. I mean, it really is. It's great advice to step away from something if you're hitting a wall. But here's the thing you have to do when it comes to art or anything else. Not only do you have to, quote, figuratively step away from it. For me, I have to take that painting sometimes and put it up against, facing a wall, where I can't see it and can't even think about it, to get a fresh perspective on it. And that is a really important thing to remember to do. Really important thing to do. Let me see here. What just came up here? I saw a couple of things come up. Comics only mature realize, I suppose. Yes, indeed. What was that one? Just because they're illiterate doesn't mean the definitions change. That's true. Gosh, you guys crack me up. American Comics Company, the only interns realize it, I suppose. Stuff that inspires into the system. Caffeine. Hey, listen, you ain't kidding. But you know what another big thing about that is that watching YouTube videos of people making things, and watching people create stuff, reading history, looking at art books. I've been looking at this book that Aaron Lopresti bought, and he did a flip through of, and then of course it was addictive, or he passed that addiction on to me. And it was the Frank Frazetta covers, all the covers that he's done, but they were photographed with the type on them, so it was like you were seeing all of the book covers, and there was just something about that was really inspiring to me, man. And it's like adrenaline. When I take a walk, I come back with more ideas than I know what to do with. Going for a walk cannot be understated or overstated as a really outstanding strategy whenever you hit a wall. And frankly, whenever you're anxious, if you're waiting to hear back about a job or something like that, I would say it's so true. Get up, go for a walk, get outside, get away from the screen and go for a walk. It's a big thing. And it may sound funny, like as I'm doing a YouTube stream to say that, but yeah, I hope you guys are. I hope you guys are giving yourself a chance to do that. Or go for a drive. Sometimes late at night, I'll just go for a drive, which drives my wife crazy. I always try to tell one person in my house I'm going out. But I'll just go for a drive because I like the cold air. I like being outside. And I like just being out there, just to kind of clear my head. I think it's important. Yeah, driving that train high on caffeine. That's right. You know what? Stale shows aren't that bad. That's true, right? There's a new Dave Stevens documentary I want to see. I just backed that on Kickstarter. I just put some money towards it. Dave Stevens is one of my heroes, and I just, it was something I needed to do. Like it's just he was totally nice to me. I have in my line of sight, I have a postcard frame that he signed to me that says "To Shanth, good luck, Dave Stevens." He signed to me at San Diego Comic-Con. He was so nice about my work, and it was nothing near the quality it is now. But he was like, "This looks really great," and you got something great going on here. And I was just like, oh man, that stuff is like gold. That's like gold on your heart, man. So yeah, rest in peace, Dave Stevens. That's why, again, I have a Dave Stevens painting behind me. That's his art that he did. That was he did some art for a promotional poster for the Rocketeer movie. And man, I wish they had used that as the poster. As much as I like the Art Deco thing, I just think that most people didn't understand what it was from that poster. And Dave's more traditional poster is absolutely gorgeous. So I have that giant poster framed behind me because I love Dave Stevens. I love seeing his stuff when I wake up and come downstairs. It totally inspires me. Your line work was also pretty great. Thank you so much, Stephen Rockwood. I appreciate that. Yeah, was that from me showing that artwork the other day? Well, the word bigot has flipped 180 degrees and is now almost exclusively used by bigots. Yeah, without a doubt, it is. Shanth, get a bicycle, save on gas, amen. Non-bigot, bigot work. How's that work? Yeah, it's totally true. I use that word bigot now as a term of endearment. Yeah, it's totally true, man. Yeah, Michael Bancroft, Marxists always use the words. Yeah, they do. They've only got one word that they can throw at people. Yeah, you guys are cracking me up. Oh, my Lord. Propaganda says it looks good, but has absolutely no substance. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, too, right? So I look at stuff. Get some fun, beautiful nonsense in your life, man. And I love this. Samson Pollen's Women, the famous pulp artist. Look at an image like this, and try to overthink it. You know what I mean? If stuff like this doesn't hit you, and you just go, "Oh man, that is just absolutely insane, ridiculous fun," then check your pulse. That's what it is. Words can be magical to the point where if you utter them enough, you can become them. Yes, very true. I did watch the stream the other day, but I've seen it in the past. Yes, that's true. You are what you speak. Yes, indeed. Boobs, also important. Well, speaking of which, let me show you guys some more canvas panel stuff I've done in between doing my Nosfero stuff. So this right here is the stuff I was doing of the Razor Fist characters from his book. So this is a total homage to, it's not finished or anything, but it's just a George Rosen-inspired sketch piece that I was working on for Razor Fist's Night Vale series. And I was having fun with that, kind of creating a skull. And then this is another piece, speaking of boobs, for my man Stephen Rockwood. This is one of Razor Fist's characters from his book that, I see what's going on, that light's on. That I was like, I want to try to paint her and figure out what she would look like. And this is the progress on that. So, yeah, man, it's all about bringing that beauty and that pulp goodness when it comes to doing work on this channel. And I love, by the way, that blue-green sort of color. That's one of my favorite things to work on. Yeah, Sorry, Michael. Apologies. Bancroft disapproves. I know, man. And I love this one because I'm using the moon to kind of make a giant skull in the background to give it that quality. And so that's been kind of fun to play around with and to muck about with. But, that's what we do here. We make cool stuff, guys. We make cool stuff. Hey, what is up, Julie Pascal? It is great to see you here in the chat. Yes, indeed. That would be a good bad guy name. Absolutely. Trademark 2022. Well, you know, it's like, it happens. It happens. I approve of the use of Lucent Blue. There you go, man. Lucent Blue. Is that what I should be calling it? Yes, Lucent Blue. You're right. Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah. I'll have to get a tube of Lucent Blue to show on streams, by the way. Yeah, that you and I absolutely are kindred spirits in terms of color combos. We have a very similar. I've told you this before. The thing that got me the most excited about, you know, the Lucent was the artwork, and I'm sure that was part of it, man. I'm sure that was part of it. Your color palette is very much what I live in. I love that color palette. I use it all the time. Let me see here. Let's see what we can do with this cat here. Do a little bit more on that, and then I think we'll be good. But let me just see. I like where that is. I like where that is. I want to make sure I put a highlight note in there. And then I want to put a highlight note. Now let's see. I put a highlight note in there. And then one sort of running down the center. Right in there. There. And then maybe like a bigger one. Right in there. There we go. Yeah, I want to make that, I want to get that contrast in there and risk overstating it as opposed to understating it at this particular point, because I know the broad strokes of everything else that's going to be happening, but these guys in the foreground are going to kind of serve as a framing mechanism. And so if I can get them to, if I can get them sorted, everything else kind of builds out from them. And so do you see what I mean? Just kind of building up that sense of play. And then I can kind of fade that shadow back just a little bit so it ties a little bit easier right there. And then it starts to kind of build. And that's one of the things that kind of makes it fun. Let me see. Wait, Bancroft. Both ways. There you go. Yeah, John A can swing both ways. Teflon Ron. Yeah. Oh my God, you guys are killing me. The whispering makes me think we're not supposed to be hearing this. Yeah. Shh. That's right. Yeah, exactly. It's all secrets. It's all secrets. Julie Pascal, don't be disturbed. We need you to bust by gas prices. Laugh out loud. That's right. Whisper, boomers gotta boom. That's right. Yeah, it's the internal dialogue. John working on it. Wow, there you go. Oh my Lord, you guys are cracking me up. Yeah, you know, it's so funny, man. It's funny to work on camera. I used to say whenever I was doing demos in classrooms, I would go, it's hard not to get into the Bob Ross voice when you're doing that, because you're just, you know, you're just there. That's it. There we go. Just 2 hairs and some air. That's all we need. Just ever gently, ever so lightly. Ever so lightly. Remember, it's your world. That's right. It's your world. You have complete power in this space. Complete power. That's what it's about. We'll just put in just another little highlight there. Now, we don't want to overdo it. Don't want to overdo it. Just a little bit. Little bit. There you go. Oh, man. Our bunny's name is Dumpling. There you have it. Oh, man. Rod or Rabbit of Death. That's right. Boom. Here comes the boomer. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. A sonic boomer. That's what we are here. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my gosh. All right. Well, the bat phone is alerting me to the fact that the little people of Stonehenge, who are not so little anymore, and the missus will be home soon. So I got to wrap up. So the great, wonderful calamity that is the family when they come in, I can give them my undivided attention. So I want to thank all of you guys who have become channel members this stream, by the way. I really appreciate it. I want to thank all of you guys for being here. Please make sure you hit the like. Please make sure you let people know about Nosfero and about the stuff that we're doing here. And I appreciate you guys so much. I can't say it any more than that. You guys are terrific. And everything I'm doing and all the work I'm doing here, I hope it brings you some inspiration. It's a joy to do it for you, and it's a joy to do these paintings and do these streams. And I will be seeing you guys soon. I'm going to be doing more streams. I'm going to be working on this more, and working on Nosfero more, obviously, on these streams. So you guys have a wonderful day, wonderful morning, wonderful evening, wonderful night, wherever you are in the world, because I know that this stream goes out globally, and you guys are all over the place. And thank you guys for being here. We're at 531 backers. I honestly cannot believe it. And we are $15 away from 33K. It is an amazing thing. Bob Nosfero, indeed. Hail Shanth, my favorite streams. Thank you, sir. Yours are mine, and I appreciate that. And you guys, how dare you, groomsmen. You guys are awesome. So have a wonderful day, and I'm going to play the channel member credits, and we'll get out of here. But you guys have a great one. And remember, guys, much love and peace, and stay gold as always, because you guys are awesome. Yes, indeed. Take care, everybody. And I will see you guys very, very soon, I promise. And so without further ado, here are our amazing channel members who help to make all of this stuff possible. Take care, everybody.
Hard work, dedication, hard work, dedication.